Hi everyone! In Geometry Lesson 1-6, we learned the midpoint and the distance formula. So I'm going to go over two examples about the midpoint. So these are the two types of questions you might see. And then in another video, I'm going to talk about the distance formula. So the first type of question here says find the midpoint of AB if A is at the point 4, 8 and B has the coordinates -2, 6. The midpoint formula says that if you take the two x values, add them together and divide by 2, you will get the x coordinate of the midpoint. And if you take the two y values, add them together and divide by 2, you will get the y coordinate of the midpoint. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 4 plus -2 and divide by 2. And then I'm going to do 8 plus 6 and divide by 2. So I just took the two x values and I added them, and I take the two y values and I add them. So 4 plus -2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 plus 6 is 14, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. So my x value is 1 and my y value is 7. So my final answer needs to be written as an ordered pair, and that pair is 1, 7. And that is the midpoint of the segment that connects these 2 points. So the second type of example is one where they actually give you the midpoint and they give you an endpoint, but they want you to find the other endpoint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this midpoint formula to actually create equations. Okay, remember this point, the one that we don't know, has coordinates x, y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I don't know the coordinates of the midpoint. I'm just going to cover this up. I'm going to do the same thing I did at the top here. I'm going to average the x's, add them together, and divide by 2. I'm going to average the y's, add them together, divide by 2. So I have x plus 4 divided by 2, and I have y plus 8 divided by 2. Now what I'm going to do, because I can't actually solve these because they have variables in them, I'm going to use my midpoint. And I know that this 6 is the value that I would get from this. And I know that this 4 is the value I would get from this. Okay, so I just took the x value from my midpoint and made it the result of this action. And I took the y value of that midpoint and I made it the result of this action. Because I may not know x and y, but I do know the result if I add it to this and divide by 2. Now to solve this, I need to get this 2 out of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 2. So this will cancel out, and I get x plus 4, and 6 times 2 is 12. And then I have to subtract 4 to get x alone. So I find out that x is 8. Over here, I have to do the same thing. So I'm going to multiply by 2. And this will cancel, and I get y plus 8 equals, and 4 times 2 is 8. And then I have to subtract 8 on both sides to get y alone. So y is 0. And my ordered pair for f is 8, 0. And that's the answer.